This radio can drive an RC car miles away. And that is a really big claim that I'm gonna have to back up. It runs express LRS at 250 milliwatts, and I'm pretty sure that that is enough to take my car to the edge of its video range. Here's an overview of my car and a quick test. Okay, sorry about the mess everywhere. It's Christmas around here, and I'm neck deep in work too. But here's a look at the car. Check this out. My test rig has two different video systems built into it. The older DJI system and the newer O3 video system. You can see it there with a fan and a special Arduino module that I have programmed to arm the O3 air unit so I can get its full range. Under the hood, you can see my giant custom battery in there that should give me 45 minutes of runtime. I've got an old Crossfire receiver in there that I no longer use, and under all that dust, there is an Express LRS receiver. And I also have a little beeper in there, so if anybody tried to pick up my car, I could blast that thing and they probably would put it down. All right, that's enough talking. Let's hit the streets. Before I run this test, I want to show you my settings. I've got my packet rate at 50 Hz, which will give me the longest range, and my TX power is actually only at 50 milliwatts. This radio actually has 5 times as much power. Let's see if I actually need it. This is where I get my first range warning. It actually doesn't mean that I'm about to lose range, it just means that I've lost RSSI. We are honestly just stretching our legs. At this point, you can see me raise the radio up because we are down in a gully, and this is where the radio frequencies are going to have the hardest time penetrating down into. Hopefully, this also brings some understanding of how these systems work and how to get the best performance. Going down into a gully or behind buildings and houses, that's going to limit your range quite a lot. Also, I'm having a weird one today. Normally I can make it around this block, but I'm already getting a red bar right here and it's too cold. I don't want to walk, so coming back. Alright, that was fun. But does that prove my claim that this radio will literally drive for miles? But that does prove that this will perform super well in a really densely populated area. And this theoretical formula proves that this radio will drive for 60 miles. And we know that the truth is somewhere in between, because that 60-mile claim is in an absolutely perfect condition, a perfect environment with zero obstructions. Let's see if we can find a better environment. So here's DVR from the longest FPV RC car drive that I have ever done. The reason I have DVR instead of 4K stabilized footage like I normally do is because I didn't format the SD card, and so it didn't actually record properly. Fat bummer, I know, but at least now I can talk you through all of my tricks for driving a terrain like this and how I was able to maintain my link the whole way. I'll be driving all the way to that tree line on the other side of the lake, and speeding up the footage in the boring areas. Real quick, you can see that as soon as I get to the bottom of this little cliff that I'm on, I get a quick signal dropout, but it quickly restores and now we're at 50 megabytes per second. I should mention that I'm actually using the RadioLink RC8X radio with an ELRS module at 100 milliwatts on this. And that's because the MT12 actually just wasn't available back in the summer when this video was taken. So that means we're still down 150 milliwatts compared to the MT12 for this test. But a good test to prove the radio's capabilities either way. So this part of the terrain is really tricky. There's this ridge right over here to the right, and if I go down there, it's below my line of sight to the car, and I'll lose my video link and maybe even the RC link. You can see as soon as I start to go down, I see my video dropping real quick, so I know I have to come back and try to maintain my altitude. I decided to choose a different line, but dang, it's rough out here, boy. I really need to put a gimbal on this rig. At this point, I thought I high-sided and I was done. I was gonna have to go on the walk of shame. Made it through that one though. Or so I thought. See, now I'm on the other side of that ridge I was talking about, and my video link is dropping drastically, down to 4 megabytes per second. I have to find high ground quick. At this point, I was like, yes, we made it out of the water, but not entirely. See, just off to the right is another deep valley, and if I slip down there, I'm losing my video. Okay, now I'm traveling on top of the ridgeline, and things are starting to look good. But we've only made it halfway through to the end of the lake. There is a super rocky area coming up here in a second, and I feel like this is a good time to shout out my boy Jipper RC. He's been building these gimbaled FPV RC cars, and he does not have these type of problems. I typically do a whole bunch of long-range street bashing. That's kind of my thing, but I want to get out here crawling, so I will be building a gimbal here in the future. Check his channel out, and also come say what's up on the FPV RC car Facebook group. This community is just getting bigger, and I would love to talk with you guys. We've nearly done it, boys. We can see the tree lines, we can see the campsites right there at the very edge of the lake, and we're almost there. So we make it to the end. I know I can't go into these people's campsite, and I'm sure I'd lose video if I went inside of the forest right over here, but I decided that I needed to touch a tree anyway, or this mission was a bust. I love that everybody at this lake is so chill. I'm gonna cruise past everybody partying on the way home, do some victory laps. You'll notice I didn't actually tell you guys the distance on this drive because I want y'all to guess. I'll put the actual distance in the description, but leave a comment and tell me how far you think this actually was. If you're wondering how I get such insane range out of my stuff, I'm actually releasing a handful of products, with this one being my very first. That's a prototype board, but what it does is it arms the O3 air unit so that you don't have to do all of the stupid stuff that I've had to do for the past year or whatever to get the full power out of the O3 air unit. You plug it in, as soon as it powers up, you get an arm signal and you get full power. I want to give another big shout out to the community. Here's some other guys that are posting some awesome content with FPV RC cars. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. You have no idea how much that actually helps my channel out. I'm not a very big channel, so every share, every like really does help so much. Thanks guys, later.